a lot of times people hear 10 to 15,000. Oh, that guy Will must be crazy, but they don't realize that Ripple in itself, David Schwartz and many others have said what it was created is to be the minimum of 10,000. Right.
Yeah.
And so when and
Yeah.
people are like, well, they got to be crazy. Well, how can everybody be crazy? And all these big institutions are joining, understanding exactly what. And then you had the Valal group that did that assessment by
Yes.
2030. It was mind boggling. They said like 25 to
Yeah.
35,000 per coin. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So when you understand what it's going to take for this technology to really be utilized in which it was created for, it just makes sense. What you did with that penciling in, dude, that was genius. And I never saw
Well,
anyone break it down like that.
yeah. And listen, guess what? Huge factor was left out.
Yeah.
Supply and demand. People
Oh,
freaking out and jumping in.
that's
That
right.
was completely I went with raw. You just shove the money in when nobody's looking just to move it.
That's right.
And nobody's getting excited and nobody's adding in nothing. There was 5 different factors that are left out of those figures
That's right.
that aren't even included.
Wow.
And listen, some people are upset at the AMM. The AMM is going to be super necessary to
That's right.
stabilize price
Yeah.
because you got this stream of money coming. So if you use water, you got this stream of money coming, and then you got a tributary coming off in a pool, a liquidity pool, and a liquidity pool, and you got all these liquidity pools. When a giant need rips through there, there's going to be there's only 2 factors. They either got to raise the price of XRP if it's above the current capability, or
Right.
they have to use XRP owners' money in liquidity pools and pay a fee. It's only 2 choices.
That's right.
So it's going to
That's right.
suck out all of our money and use it and pay
That's
us fees,
Right.
man.
That's right.
So then it's going to mitigate that need. So some people get upset. They're like, well, that kind of makes the price lower. Well, if you're an XRP user, better stick it in the liquidity pool.
That's right.
I mean, what it's doing is it's saying, hey, so look what's happening. Look what the motivation ends up being. The motivation ends up being, hey, so why don't you put your money in the liquidity pool and not have it available for sale, therefore causing it to drive the price up even higher.
Wow.
Right? Because now there's less coin.
That's right.
This thing has this built-in momentum that is going to it's going to rip our face off.
Well, let me ask you this question because and I know the answer to it, but again, I got to be facetious. I got to be facetious. No, you're good, man. Hey, trust me. You if you watch any of my videos, you see I lose it like I've had too much caffeine, right? So, but let me ask you this question. So, AMM happens. We have, let's say, and we're just talking hypothetically, the lawsuit ends. We start getting institutional adoption. We start getting maybe we have a Ripple IPO. We have a XRP ETF. When all these things happen, is it safe to say at some point they'll be trying to get all the XRP they can, and it'll probably be harder than heck to own it or have it, because again, it wasn't created for
Price
retail.
driver.
It wasn't created for retail, and so for the people now who are sitting there going, oh, 50 cents and $3, and even I mean, here's what's so funny. I remember when Michael Saylor had made this comment that a lot of the big players like himself wouldn't touch Bitcoin until it maintained and went over 20,000. And people don't realize there's a lot of institutional investors like Michael Saylor, Kathy Woods, and all these guys who won't touch XRP till it gets over, maybe $5,000 or something like that. And at that point, they'll start gobbling up, like maybe even $1,000, whatever it is. They'll start gobbling up like crazy. And how do we know that? Because they wouldn't touch it at a penny, or they wouldn't touch it at $1. They wouldn't touch it at 10. It was too speculative. It was too this. It was too much uncertainty. But as soon as it got to 20,000, Michael Saylor says, green light, and everyone started to follow. What happens when that happens to XRP?
Same thing, don't you think? Well, and listen, even more so because worldwide coverage. Look at the team. Look at where these people came from: Treasury departments, governments. Look at the team. Okay, so when you have that team, and you're the president of a country somewhere, there's tons of countries, so just make up one.
Right.
And he looks at the team. Give me a break, man.